Welcome to Ink and Fitness. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Anthony. I am someone who went from skinny to fit, and these videos are purely educational. So this way, if you are also someone who's skinny, who's looking to bulk more efficiently, or maybe just someone who's new to the gym in general and who's looking to gain weight, gain muscle, you can take these videos, take what you're learning, and implement it inside your own fitness journey and be consistent with it, most importantly. If you are someone though who's looking for a more personalized approach to coaching, get set up with a game plan and get pointed in the right direction when it comes to all this, the link to my calendar will be down below in the description. So definitely feel free to find a good time that works for you. We can definitely chat and see what I can do for you all. But enough about that. Let's get straight into the video for today. We're going to be talking about the best bulking strategies for muscle gain. So this is going to be a great one. So make sure to take out your paper, pen, or pencil and get ready to take some notes. So very first thing is you need to make sure that you're eating in a slight caloric surplus. Eating in a caloric surplus in general is what's needed for you to gain weight. Now, obviously, we don't want to overdo it and eating in a surplus, because if we start to eat thousands of calories above our maintenance calories, then we're going to start to gain fat that we don't really need at all whatsoever. So what we want to do is that we want to do a type of bulking that's called lean bulking. So this is where we eat slightly above our maintenance calories. Specifically, we eat 3 to 500 calories above our maintenance calories. So this will help you minimize the fat gain, because yes, you will still gain fat since you are eating in a surplus. There's no way getting around the gaining fat part. It's just part of it. But minimizing it is something that we definitely can do and help ourselves not gain so much of it. So by doing this, by bulking in this kind of way, it'll take longer to bulk, a little bit longer, not a lot, a bit longer, just a little bit longer, but by far it is the most sustainable way and enjoyable way as well to bulk. So this way you don't burn out, you don't gas yourself so quickly, and you essentially want to quit on your fitness journey right when you're starting things up. Final note, most importantly, apart from just hitting your calorie goals for the day, you also need to make sure that you're eating a gram of protein per pound of body weight, because that's also important. You need protein so this way you can build muscle, especially after the tough workouts that you're doing or hopefully are doing. So this way your body can repair, recover itself, and you'll be good to go for the next day. Food choices. Definitely don't feel like you need to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice every single day, 5 meals a day, for the entirety of your bulking phase. Please don't do that. That sounds like pure torture. I think I'd rather slam my head on a table dozens of times than eat that same meal over and over again on a day-to-day basis. No, thank you. What you should do, so that way you don't have to do that and suffer, is you should opt in for foods that are fattier. So fattier meats specifically. So chicken thighs, salmon, steaks, pork chops, other fattier foods like peanut butter, any kind of nuts in general, whole eggs. So not just the egg whites, but also the yolk part of it. And those are just a few examples, but there's so many others out there. But choose foods like that because it's gonna make making meals a lot better for you. Because you're obviously gonna make, obviously foods that are fattier taste better, and when you eat foods that taste better, it makes it a lot more enjoyable. So you can make some kick-ass recipes by choosing these different fattier meats. It really does enhance the meals, opposed to just eating a super lean chicken breast with some white rice and broccoli. Like there's nothing right there that's very appetizing or flavorful unless you know how to make it flavorful and juicy. But 8 times out of 10, most people don't know how to make meats juicy or flavorful or actually enjoyable in general, right? So look up some recipes. Eating fattier or cooking with fattier meats is going to make things a lot more enjoyable, tastier, and it's going to be a good time all around. So don't go for the lean meats, as I said. You want to make sure that the bulking foods you're eating are enjoyable and tasty. And plus fattier meats, I forgot to mention this, almost forgot to mention this, but fattier meats contain more calories opposed to leaner meats. So I don't know the calorie count right off the top of my head, but definitely since the meats are a little bit more fattier, it's going to contain a little bit more calories opposed to your regular chicken breast or your regular tilapia, right? So keep that in mind. Last 2 points. don't cut off junk food. If anything, just use it when you feel like you need it. Some days you're not going to feel like eating the same meal, so maybe you'll swap out one or actually just I would say one meal. Don't do 2 meals. I was about to say 1 or 2 meals, but just keep it at one meal. You got to keep yourself in check because it's easy to overdo it with junk food or cheat meals. You once you get a taste of it, you kind of want to eat more. Um, and so you want to be careful with that because if you start to eat too much junk food, then you're really going to be eating above your surplus or above your maintenance, excuse me, and you're going to start to gain excess fat that you really don't need. So that's why I say use it when you need it. Don't eat it all the time for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you want to swap out a meal for burgers and fries or whatever it is, do it. Completely fine. If anything, it adds on to the enjoyability and sustainability of your bulk. And then just the last point, liquid calories are a great tool as well. So if you're typically busy on a day-to-day basis, maybe you work a 9 to 5 or you go to school and you work, or maybe you're a parent, whatever it is, or maybe you're just doing everything, a combination of all these different things. In general, if you're just a busy individual, then definitely utilize liquid calories as that's what's going to help you essentially meet your protein needs and your calorie needs for the day without having to essentially hustle in the kitchen or bust your ass off trying to get home, trying to rush back home to cook your meal and get your macros and micros in for the day. So definitely use the liquid calories when you need it. Don't eat it or don't use it every day or don't eat it every day actually. uh, what I mean by that is don't eat it for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, much like I said for cheat meals. Just use it when you feel like you need it. Once a day is perfectly fine. But don't make it a habit because you want to make sure that most of your nutrients comes from whole foods. Now, the biggest question that typically there is how long should one bulk for? And a really good bulking phase will last anywhere between 12 to 16 weeks. If you want to go longer, you are more than welcome to go longer if your body and mind can handle it. Because when you start to get deeper into the months of the bulking phase, it starts to get a little bit hard, to eat food because you're going to be eating a lot more food by that point. Um, so it gets difficult to eat mass amounts of food, train really hard, and keep that going for however long that you're training per week. So keep that in mind. But a good bulking phase will last anywhere between 12 to 16 weeks because the goal here is to really gain anywhere between zero point 0.5 pounds to 2 pounds of, to 1 pound of body weight per week. 2 pounds is good too, but anything above that is it's just overdoing it a little bit. But that's kind of the range that we're looking at here for gain weight on a week to week basis. Like I said, if you want to go for longer, go for longer, but just make sure you're able to handle it. So that's the most important thing right there. Now, in terms of what to do after the bulk, it really does depend on what you feel like is most comfortable for you or really most sustainable for you. You can take a short 1 to 2 week break from the gym altogether and eating as well in a surplus. So that way you can recharge your batteries and you can keep bulking if you feel like you need to keep bulking. You could also go into a cutting phase, maybe take like a short week break in between, and then go ahead and start your cutting phase. Or you can just eat at your maintenance and keep training hard for a little while until you feel like you want to cut, or until you feel like you want to keep bulking for longer. Whatever it is, right? There's nothing that's right or wrong in terms of an answer here, unless you are competing for a show, right? If you are competing for a show, that's going to look very different. But I am not a bodybuilder, nor do I compete for shows and shows, nor do I have that desire to do so. So I really can't speak much on that specifically. But what I can say is that just do what feels best for you. If you're not competing for a show, um, the ball's on your court, pretty much. So do what feels best for you and what is the most sustainable for you. Because at the end of the day, we just don't want to work out for a few months and then just stop the gym altogether once we get the results that we've been striving for, right? Because once we stop the gym altogether, we're just the gains don't stay there. Eventually, they're gonna go away, right? Because we're not training, we're not exerting ourselves, we're not eating the way that that our body is used to at that point. So we definitely want to make sure that we incorporate fitness into our lifestyle, so this way we can keep being in shape, keep working towards our or end goal, I guess, in a sense, because you're not going to achieve your dream physique in just a 4 month time frame. You're going to gain some solid weight, for sure. But to say that you're going to look like an aesthetic Greek god or anything like that in 4 months is very unrealistic. And so that's why I say make sure fitness is a lifestyle for you, because it is something that is going to be great for you to do every day. Not every day, sorry, but however you see uh, best fits into your own lifestyle, because everyone has different schedules per day. So it just depends on how you can fit it into your day-to-day schedule, so that way you can be consistent with it. So it's fine if you go to the gym twice per week, 3 times per week, 4 times per week, or 5 times per week, right? You don't need to go to the gym 6 or 7 times per week, just to see results. It really depends on what works best for you. So keep that in mind. Now, how should I train? It's another good question. And the way you should be training is with high intensity. So you should be exerting yourself a little bit more than you're used to. You don't have to go balls to the walls, right? You're about to throw up on the floor, you're about to shit your pants, nothing like that. But at least exerting yourself a little bit more than you're used to would go a long way. So for example, if you're someone who does 3 sets and you just kind of swing the weights around and that's it, take the last set to failure, right? So that's what I mean when I say exert yourself a little bit more than you're used to. So don't just swing the weights around in general as well. Lift with an actual purpose. You want to make sure you make every rep count, and that you're not wasting time inside of the gym. I get it, like it's uncomfortable to work out, and you feel the burning sensation. You feel like you just want to stop. It's really a mental battle more than anything. And if you can win the mental battle inside the gym, then you will win in life in general, in my opinion at least. So exert yourself a little bit more, nothing crazy, but just a little bit more. You cannot achieve great results if you're training in a mediocre way. It's just not possible at all whatsoever. 2 sets till failure, 6 to 8 reps, and progressive overload on a week-to-week basis when you're training. And for those of you who don't know what progressive overload is, pretty much what it is when you increase the weight of the certain exercise that you're doing, because you were able to perform last week's weight on that given exercise with really good form, really good technique for the given set and rep scheme. So for example, if we're doing skull crushers with a barbell, let's say 40 pounds, and we had 2 sets by 6 to 8 reps as the scheme, and we were able to reach the top rep range for both of those sets with really good technique, then I'm going to bump up the weight by 5 pounds, either 2.5 pounds or 5 pounds. That needs to be gradual increments the next week. And so that means I'm doing 45 pounds for 2 sets, 6 to 8 reps. And likely I'm not going to get to the top of the rep range of 8 reps for that given, for the skull crushers, that given time, just because it's a new weight. The body hasn't yet adapted and it's not used to that kind of weight just yet. So maybe I'll get 6 reps on the first set, and maybe I'll get 5 reps on the second set. And that's okay. But pretty much you get the idea here. You go until you get 8 reps, however long it takes, and then once you're able to do the top range of the rep scheme for both sets, boom, increase the weight again gradually by either 2.5 or 5 pounds. And that's what progressive overload is, essentially. And it's really good for hypertrophy training. It's vital for hypertrophy training, actually, would be much better said. So make sure you're incorporating that inside your training. That covers it for the video for today, though, guys. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below if this video made sense for you, if it was helpful for you, and if there's something different that you want to see in terms of a video topic. And I'd be glad to make it for you all. One more time, shameless plug. If you are someone who's looking for one-to-one coaching, the link for that will be in the description down below. But until the next video, guys, take care. Much love to you all. Peace.